Hi, folks. This is Dr. P, and I'm going to talk briefly about staying in touch with reality because that's really important when you're designing games. I can tell you a story about when I was working at a Army Medical Center, and we had a meeting one day, and the boss came in and said, "I don't want to hear anything bad. Don't tell me anything bad. Just tell me things that are good." Well, so we did, but it was ridiculously bad management. How can you fix anything if you don't know what's wrong? You can't. So it's important to be in touch with your reality, even if you find it unpleasant. Now, to extend that, my wife is not mechanically inclined, so she'll report things that are quote unquote wrong with a car. And I know that sometimes it's not actually a problem or it's just missing a button or doing something wrong, especially with a complicated car. And right now we have new electric car that's pretty complicated. So what I say is I don't want to hear it, but that's not true. It's a thing I just say because of course I do want to hear it. Because if I don't hear what she has to say, then when she has something to report that is truly wrong, I can't do anything about it. Now, we can apply this to playtesting. When you playtest a game, you don't want to be told how good it is. If that happens, that's fine. In fact, that's great. What you want to know is what the playtesters think was undesirable about the game. And you have to find ways to persuade them to tell you because people often don't want to tell you bad things. They don't want to disappoint you. So they might not say how this made them uncomfortable or this didn't work for them or they don't like this because of such and such. Now, this doesn't make them right. They may say something and you say, okay, well, I'll take that into account, but it's exactly what you want. So that still gives you information that what you want seems to be happening, even though that player is not happy about it. To go along with this is the famous phrase, quote, "Don't shoot the messenger," unquote. If you give the person a hard time who's telling you bad news, people aren't going to tell you bad news, are they? Especially if you're somebody in charge and you can have some effect on them in that respect. So we have autocratic dictators like Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping who have got themselves to the point where people won't tell them bad news because those guys sometimes shoot the messenger, not literally perhaps, but the messenger suffers for having told the truth. There's some thought that when Putin asked the FSB what the Ukrainians would do when the Russians invaded, the FSB told Putin what he wanted to hear, which was, oh, they'll crumble and a lot of them will join us, but they'll be really happy to see us, which was not true at all in the event. But you can see how if you shoot the messenger, the people reporting will tend to tell you what they think you want to hear. Well, in playtesting, you can't be hard on the people who are playtesting. They're doing you a favor. They are playing a game which might turn out to be bad because a lot of prototypes are pretty bad, and then trying to convey to you one way or another, if you ask in various ways, what they found unsatisfactory. I tend to watch people play and leave it at that rather than asking them a lot of questions because I want playtesting to be natural, to feel natural to the players. But when you play a published game, sometimes you'll talk about what you didn't like about it or what you didn't. So that falls into that natural category to a considerable extent. So don't shoot the messenger and make sure that you're getting the reality, what's really happening in your game. Thanks for listening.